How sick is this mug, by the way? Proof they only took the valuables from my mom's place. Welcome back to LPB Roundup. I'm Ryan. I'm here with your daily Roundup, and we're going to hop right in because, boy, do we have a lot to talk about here. We entered the night with Lexington needing a win or a Rockers loss to clinch the first half title in the South Division. The Legends offense got after it early, jumping out to a 6-1 lead on the back of Tillman Pugh and Roberto Baldequin homers by the time that we were just halfway through this thing. However, the Revs brought 12 batters to the plate in the bottom of the fifth, and after a leadoff double, they strung together 5 singles, 2 doubles, and a triple to push across 7 runs. Lexington fought back to even this game at 8 before the time the crowd was stretching in the 7th. Unfortunately for the Legends, Jeremy Jeffress ran into issues again in a relief outing for them, allowing 4 runs in the bottom half of the 7th. 2 late runs wouldn't redeem the collapses on the mound, and the Legends followed the Revolution 12-10. It was definitely a weird one. 5 of the 6 pitchers for the Revs allowed runs, while 2 of the 6 pitchers for the Legends allowed runs, but York found their places and times to rack them up, so they got the win. Jordan Pacheco and Cole Sturgeon both stayed hot, cashing in 3-hit games for Lexington. The Revs' Jack Kenley posted a double and a triple with 3 RBI for York. JC Encarnacion went off for the Revs last night, going 4 for 5 with his first home run of the season and 2 doubles. He earned the ALP Roundup game ball for that effort. But could High Point stay alive now? Well, if we had an offensive battle in York, we had a pitcher's duel in Gastonia for sure. The Rockers wouldn't get a hit off the Honey Hunters' Alcides Herrera until they were 1 out into the 8th inning after a 16-minute fire alarm delay in the bottom of the 7th. Second time in a month that we've seen that in Gastonia. Losing a no-hitter after the weird fire alarm delay, it's a bad look. 2 fire alarm delays in a month, it's a bad look. Herrera, he ended this one after 8 innings of 1-hit shutout ball. On the other side, the troubadour Bryce Hensley, he would also go 8 innings in a complete game effort for High Point. These High Point starters stay electric as Hensley allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, walking 1, striking out 4 over the course of those 8 innings. Stephen Cardullo hit an inside-the-park home run in the 9th for the only run of the game for High Point. Boog Powell was injured colliding with the wall in that play. He was reported to look like he was in good spirits post-game, so I wouldn't expect him to miss too much time, if any. However, the inside-the-parker would not be enough as the Honey Hunters held on to win 2-1. With that, the Lexington Legends put a bow on the 2021 first half, clinching the South Division title in their first Atlantic League season. They were hyped. They had the hype video ready to go. Check out the Instagram account for the Legends, or myself. I've shared it. I actually posted it too, so you can find it basically anywhere because it's sick. So give the credit to them. Check out their page, but you can always check out mine too. Anyway, at ALPB_Roundup. Herrera, he gets the game ball for being absolutely lights out tonight. Good showing from the Honey Hunters this week as they take 2 out of 3 from the Rockers. Finally, in Charleston, the West Virginia Power looked to salvage the final game of their 3-game set against Lancaster. Alexis Candelario took the ball for the Power. He's been a completely different pitcher since joining the Power. He allowed 35 earned runs in 32 1/3 innings of work with the Honey Hunters. He entered this game with 9 shutout innings in a Power uniform. He seemed to see a slight increase in his sinker velo, which is his number 1 pitch. Primarily, though, he's dropped his changeup, his curve, and the 4-2 seam fastball he was working in completely over these first 9 innings in favor of working a slider and sinker. So I don't know what his pitch mix looked like last night, but that seems to be it. He's just leaning slider, sinker, working them back and forth. 60% sinker, I think it was working out to, 40% slider, and he's been getting results. Cody Boydston, he took the hill for Lancaster. Candelario, he'd last 5 innings, allowing 2 runs, 1 earned on 4 hits. Boydston left an inning later, allowing 1 run on 5 hits. Once into the West Virginia bullpen, the Barnstormers made the most out of it. They got RBIs off the bat of Trayvon Robinson and Anderson De La Rosa. Barnstormers bullpen, they look good again, getting 3 scoreless innings from Junior Rincon and Brent Teller to secure a series sweep. The Barnstormers bullpen has now delivered 18 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run. Several people could have taken the game ball in this one, but we're going to give it to Blake Aleman. He went 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and an RBI. The Blue Crabs and Long Island, they were rained out last night. I'm just grateful it's not going to affect the standings and cause some headache on postponed games and how it relates to the first half title. Taking a look at this week's game balls, we can see that Alcides Herrera wins Player of the Week for his tremendous performance last night. He gets a bonus game ball for that. Those bonus game balls are used as a tiebreaker as we track who gets the most ALPB Roundup game balls throughout the season. Looking ahead, we've got all 3-game series this weekend. The Blue Crabs head to Lancaster to take on the Barnstormers. The Honey Hunters head to Long Island, where the Ducks look to build toward the second half after claiming that first half title in the North. The Rockers host the Power, now needing to collect wins in case they need to snag a wildcard spot in the second half. York and Lexington will continue this week's action with the second half of a 6-game home and home set. Now this all brings me to something that I might even cut a separate video of because it needs to be discussed. We're coming up on the second half of this season, and a change that will be applied on Tuesday after the off day Monday that would move the pitching rubber back by a foot across the league. I know a meeting took place with league officials during this week, and the expectation was that they were deciding whether to proceed with the change or not in the face of pushback from players and the elevated run environment that we saw specifically in the first 45 games or so of this season. Now, pitchers are obviously unhappy. For one, the run environment concerns I just mentioned. Pitchers are trying to stand out and reach MLB organizations, and it seems that this could only really serve to hurt them in that goal. Beyond that is the health side, specifically arm health. The league and MLB have cited some research saying that this shouldn't cause any health issues for pitchers. In the opinion of many, including myself, the research wasn't over a long enough period of time or with enough pitchers. I've also heard concerns that the test subjects may have not been the best representatives of ALPB pitchers based on factors like age. I haven't gotten a look into that myself, but that's something that's been expressed by multiple people that I've talked to about the problem. So, it may seem like an overreaction, but I think that if I felt my career success and my health, especially considering the arm is the tool of the trade for these guys, some of whom are only in this league rehabbing from arm injuries, if I felt that was at all being gambled, I'd probably be worried too. Now, I bring all that background to you because it's important to keep those concerns in mind, particularly the health concerns in mind, as it was very concerning that after the meeting that took place this week, the players were informed. Now, this is first reported by Indie Ball Report, who always does a great job, and confirmed for me by several players and front office personnel. Not only that the rule changes would be occurring with the distance of the pitching rubber to home plate, but that any player that refuses to play or opts out of the season will be barred from playing in any MLB organization or MLB partner league. That effectively bans players from playing professional baseball on American or Canadian soil. The league will provide a grace period to players to work out trades to other indie leagues, but the grace period is reportedly only a few days, and there are stipulations about fair trades and the nature of the deals being made. Consider what I just told you about the performance motivations of the players. Consider the health concerns that they have and they feel they haven't seen sufficient testing regarding, effectively turning them into guinea pigs in their minds. And consider that their goal for all of this is to reach MLB organizations that is being held over their head. Do you want this dream? The one you've worked for since you were a kid? Then you better disregard these health concerns and accept some terms here. Now, the counterpoint to this is that the vast majority of players knew these rules before signing in the league. However, it wasn't 100% certain that the rule would be enacted, since a rule to move the rubber was planned but not enacted in 2019. And I've not talked to a single player who knew that they would effectively be trapped in the league once the rule was enacted, with only a few days to find a way out. It's okay if the players entered the room by choice. It isn't okay if the door locked behind them and nobody told them it would. Expect to see a lot of transactions over the next few days. You can check in with our social media. I'm sure we'll be talking about it. Surprised my phone only vibrated a couple times during this because I'm getting messages from a few different people with trades. I've already discussed with front office personnel about 10 major deals that are in the works for top players and very little in return. All in all, this doesn't seem very much like one baseball to me. I'm Ryan from ALPB Roundup. Have a good one.